Have you ever noticed how horses tend to move with such command and mastery over their bodies? They are so at ease with how their bodies move and how their bodies function that these guys can sleep standing up. And then when the manure hits the fan, they can snap to and take off and run like crazy for so long with what looks like it's just effortless. They look so graceful and so at ease and so effortless in everything they do. But meanwhile, we a lot of times, especially right now, feel like we're kind of just stumbling along, barely making it over our own 2 feet, literally or figuratively. And when crisis, chaos, and confusion does happen, we're not moving with grace and majesty. We're kind of just barely making it through, and gosh, we're exhausted on the other side of it, or exhausted before we ever get to it, and handle it with anything but grace. What is it that horses have going on that we can apply to our own selves? How do they do it? How do they manage to move with such grace and ease and mastery over their own bodies? And how can we get some more of that? And how can our own pets get some more of that? If you're new to my world, welcome. I'm Dr. Vicky, gentle chiropractor for people as well as pets. I'm a Reiki healer and a mind-body coach. Yes, I do work with horses on occasion, not the inflatable kind. But, I have some fun stuff around my house, so we're changing it up with, I need to name this guy. Drop some name suggestions for me of what I should name our little friend here. So, what is it that horses have that we can use some more of? How is it that these guys are able to just move so effortlessly? In horses, their bodies are arranged as far as how their joints move, how their bone structure is set up, and most importantly, how their ligaments and tendons are set up in a way that when they are standing, they can actually lock their body out and spend so little energy standing up that they can conserve all of that energy that their muscles would otherwise be burning. So that when something comes up, their flight animals, fight or flee, they're designed to flee when something crazy and spooky comes up, like the leaf that goes skittering across the ground behind them. So they have saved so much energy by locking out everything that they can go take off if something big and scary, like a leaf, comes up. It's called the Stay Apparatus. And you don't need to know that. There's not a test. I already took the test for you. It's fine. But the Stay Apparatus is this super cool thing that horses have that allows them to lock out everything so that their ligaments are supporting this huge, huge animal that's hundreds, if not thousands of pounds, and hold them up with barely any muscle work to do it. That's pretty cool, right? Now, we don't have that. And our pets don't have that unless your pet is a horse. But our dogs and our cats, they don't have a stay apparatus. We don't have a stay apparatus. But we can employ a lot of what's going on as far as how we can conserve our own energy. Because I'll tell you what, when a horse has something going on that has compromised their stay apparatus, so they've got all of their ligaments and tendons holding them up, if there is a kink in the system, if something goes whoop, now they can't hold themselves up anymore. And now they have to use all of those muscles to hold them up instead of being able to use those muscles for what they need to do, which is to get out of dodge when a big scary leaf comes up. Now, the same thing happens in us, even though we don't have a stay apparatus, is when something has a kink in it, when a part of our bodies, when a part of our support system, our internal inherent support system, and I'm talking mentally, physically, and emotionally, when some part of what helps support us get from one day to the next and helps support us to handle when crisis, chaos, and confusion comes up, when some piece of that is not operating at its best, we kind of collapse too. And it gets a whole lot harder for us to hold ourselves up, and a whole lot harder for us to propel ourselves forward and into the next place when something comes up and we need to get out of where we are and get to where we really want to be instead. Now, what does that look like when something comes up and throws a little kink in the works? and keeps things from moving? Well, on the physical side, it could be what we call macro traumas, which is, you have a big event that happens. Maybe you twist your ankle. Maybe you're in a car accident. Maybe you stumble into the closet door at 3 o'clock in the morning. Maybe you have a slip and fall. It could be micro traumas, like you've been doing the same dumb thing, sitting in your chair the same dumb way for the past 30 years, and finally your body has had enough. It's like riding on a tire that's a little low. It'll be okay for a while, but eventually that tire's going to wear down and break down a whole lot faster than the ones that have full pressure. On the mental side, that can show up as not being able to cope quite so well with the little day to day, and you get a little more snippy and a little more put out one day after the next until eventually you just can't handle it anymore. And either you fall to pieces or you lash out at someone when you didn't mean to. And emotionally, same thing. We're supposed to be able to handle our stuff. And if enough things keep happening over and over again, gosh, I don't know, like a giant pandemic going around that's got everybody socially distancing, we're supposed to be physically distancing, yes. They labeled it social distancing. And what a lot of people internalize that as is I should not socialize with anyone at all. I should withdraw and just be by myself, which physically, yes, that is the safest thing right now that we're finding is to be physically separate from people. But when you cut yourself off socially, even not even picking up the phone to call somebody or talking online, if you are socially distancing to where it's just you and yourself, we're starting to find that folks are having what's called failure to thrive. We need that emotional connection to other people, even if it's not in the same physical space. So stuff like that can lead you with, you're missing a piece of that support structure that should be holding you up. When that one piece fails, the whole support system fails. And eventually, you're going to run into that crisis, chaos, and confusion moment that's going to be the straw on the camel's back, or the horse's back in this instance. So, what can you do to keep your support structure, keep your version of the horse's stay apparatus functioning at its best so that not only can you move through your day-to-day life with ease and grace and mastery over your own body and your own situation and your own experiences, but have that support structure so strong and so capable that it can carry you through when the manure hits the fan, because it will. There's always something that's going to come up. That's how life works. Because from those challenges, we grow. From those lower levels, we're able to go up to higher levels. We're able to climb further up on our journey to our best selves. So we need to be able to handle our day-to-day. We need to be able to handle when the manure hits the fan. So what can we do? And this applies to your pets too. This is not just our humans, but this is our fur babies as well. You need to make sure that all aspects of that support system are at their very best. And you need to employ someone to help you do that. You need to hire somebody. So you're talking not just the physical, I'm talking the mental and the emotional as well. You got to make sure that everything is at its very best. Because if you could have done it on your own, you wouldn't have these challenges. If a horse could keep its stay apparatus functioning at its best on its own, it wouldn't need the animal chiropractors to help them out, or the farriers or the vets. It would be able to correct it on its own. But when something goes off kilter, usually it didn't get there on its own. Usually some situation helped to get there. So we need someone to help right you and get you back to your very best. Easier, faster, and with less effort. So if this all makes sense, then you are ready to get yourself back to that ease and grace and make a little bit more like our horse here, where you've got mastery over yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally. Reach out to me. Let's do a no-charge phone consult to see, I know gentle chiropractic care will help. I know Reiki can help. I just don't know if I'm the right fit to be helping you. So let's find out. Let's have a quick phone call and discover from the right one to be helping you or your pets. Reach out to me and give me a phone call or send me a text message to 636-751-3153. or you can check me out online. I've got a tab right on my website for you. That website is Complete Wellness, C as in cat, C as in cat.com. CompleteWellnessCC.com. And right there at the top, there's a tab that says Set Your Consult. Go there, and that'll show you how to get right on my calendar and set a time that works for you. You can do this. You just need a little help to get there. We'll be galloping off to greener pastures soon. Now, until we talk again, go out there and be your very best majestic self. Bye.